Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Semrush webinar. My name is Patrick Whalen, and I'm your host. Today is Tuesday, April 4th, and joining us is Brian Downard. Brian is...
What is going on, everyone? Thank you, Patrick, for being here. I'm stoked.
It's great to have you back again. Brian here is the founder of BD Ventures, an online marketing consulting company that helps entrepreneurs and business leaders get the advice, tools, and resources they need to dominate online marketing. He had some great advice for us the last time he joined us, so we invited him back again, and today he's going to be talking about how to get customers to your local business with Facebook. Before I turn things over to him, I just want to make a couple of quick announcements. We are recording this. We've already had a couple of questions. We'll be throwing it up on our YouTube channel. That's Semrush HQ. So be sure to look out for that. We'll be sending a follow-up email as well. We are doing Q&A today. Don't hold back on your questions. Just throw them in there as you think of them, and we'll get to as many of those as we can. You can follow along on Twitter with the hashtag SEMRushLive, or tweet us at Brian_Downard. That's DOWNARD, and at SEMrush. Also, I wanted to do a quick announcement. We are running a contest currently at Semrush. It's to promote one of our new tools, which is called Censor, and you can read all about it. I'm just going to throw in the link right here for you guys to check it out. It takes about 5 minutes of your time. It's a March Madness bracket style. I realize it's April. We did extend it a little bit. And the winner will receive a $250 gift card for Amazon. We have a couple of smaller prizes as well, so be sure to check that out. And we have some events going on. Tomorrow is Next 10X. It's the first event thrown by Eric Engie and Stone Temple Consulting. So everyone on the East Coast, check that out. It's up in Boston tomorrow from 8 to 6. And for those of you on the West Coast, Digital Summit LA is going on right now. We've got some members of our team out there for it. Be sure to stop by, say hello to them. Or if you're more of a plan ahead type, you can find us at Icon, the event for marketers and small businesses. That's running April 25th through the 27th in Phoenix, Arizona. And we have more information about all of those at semrush.com/events. All right, I think I'm done plugging everything for the moment here. Brian, you still with me?
I am, Patrick. No, thank you. That was an awesome intro. I appreciate that. Not everyone says such nice things at the beginning, but look, we got 128 people here already, so I am super stoked to get into this and start sharing with you guys.
Excellent. Let's do this.
Well, man, so yeah, just so everyone knows, like Patrick said, what you'll want to do is just as you have questions, go ahead and throw them into the chat box. Patrick will get to them. It's going to be difficult for me to present and field all 130 of you, but I'm excited that you're here. Throw me your questions, and I am excited to answer them. So let's dive in. All right, so what we are talking about today. Today I want to start laying the foundation for your success using Facebook ads. We're going to be talking about who you should be targeting first in your advertisements and the audiences you should be building. We're going to talk about how you build brand awareness on autopilot, how you track the people who visit your website so you can show them relevant ads, and of course, the most important thing that you all care about, how to actually get people off of their butts and into your physical location, your store, where you can get them to be a customer, of course, which we're all here for. So my big promise to you today is I want you to walk away with my proven strategies and tools that I use to generate more local leads and sales for brick and mortar businesses. Now, I don't want to do a big plug. I don't like talking about myself too much. Real quickly, so you know that I know my stuff and I'm not just blowing a bunch of steam at you guys. I've done over 150 different Facebook campaigns in the past 12 months, all types of niches, retail, real estate, insurance, interior design, furniture, flooring. I've had my work featured in great publications like Entrepreneur, Inc., of course, Semrush, and brands like HubSpot. I don't want to make any typicality claims here. These aren't typical results, but I have client case studies that have 25 to 1 ROI. really incredible results using these strategies. And again, these clients were already great businesses to begin with, so they made my job that much easier. And again, I don't just teach this stuff, I actually live it. I do this. Some work I sub out, but the majority of this and the strategy I do. So I'm here to teach that with you and share that with you today. So quickly, house rules. I want you guys here, it's almost 150 now, it's awesome. I want you to turn off your distractions and notifications. Even if you feel like you're pretty good at Facebook ads, I bet I'm gonna teach you a few things here today that you didn't know about. And again, hop into the chat, ask questions. If anything gets kind of funky during this presentation, I cut out, the presentation doesn't happen, whatever, just hit refresh or rejoin. That'll usually solve your problems. And then one last thing I want to make clear is the strategies that I'm going to be sharing here are specifically for local brick and mortar businesses, or of course, the people and the marketers and consultants who serve them. So if you're someone like me who's interested in getting more brick and mortar clients, or you want to better serve the ones you have, you're going to want to hear these strategies so you can implement them for your audience. All right, so question number one, this is super easy. I want you to, in the chat box right now, tell us what is your name and where you are from in the world. And Patrick, I'll go ahead and let you field some of these and welcome everyone onto the webinar.
Definitely. We've got, let's see here, a couple of people from New York representing already, Minnesota, Steve from Florida, Las Vegas. Looks like we're going coast to coast today, which is
welcome, guys. That's awesome. Coast to coast. How about Hawaii and Alaska? We got all 50 continental states. That would be awesome.
No, not yet, but we do have Chicago and Washington representing as well. And Los Angeles.
Welcome.
Yeah.
This is very cool. I myself am from Los Angeles. And Pat, where are you out of again?
We're right in Philadelphia.
All right, cool, man. With hosts are coast to coast, and so are the attendees. Awesome. I'm excited to have you guys here. Thank you again for showing up, and I know your time's valuable, so we're going to get into this. But I do have a little bit of bad news for local businesses. E-commerce, as you know, I'm sure many of you use Amazon, is blowing up, and brick and mortar stores all over the country are shutting down, even industry giants. And this is happening, all the time. You'll see an example, a pretty sad one here in a moment, but US e-commerce sales have reached an incredible $400 billion in 2016 and are predicted to almost double by 2020. So huge numbers here, and a lot of people who are coming online are starting to do more shopping there. So it's scary because a lot of these big box retailers who were name brands are ending up like this and shutting down, and even if they're not going bankrupt, they're closing stores. So the landscape is definitely changing. But what I like and love, in fact, about Facebook is, in a way, it's leveled the playing field. Because even though it's considered a pay-to-play platform, I'm sure, as you know, where you need somewhat of a budget to invest in there to get the results out of your ads, even though that's true, everyone, all the mom and pop shops in the world now have access to incredible amounts of data about the people that they want to potentially target. This kind of information used to only be available to the top brands in the world who had the money to pay for it. But because of Facebook's partnerships with top data providers around the world, that gives you and me and normal people access to this type of information, which makes it an incredible marketing tool. So real quick in the chat box, I want you to tell me yes or no, in the past, have you done any paid Facebook advertising? I'm not talking about just posting to your page. I want to hear how many of you have actually paid Facebook for advertising. Just in the chat box, yes or no.
These are coming in fast. It looks like we have a good number of yeses here. A couple no's peppered in, but rapid response. Geez.
I love that. I love that.
Like,
it's on point.
Fast, yeah.
You guys are right here with us. That is awesome. So, okay, good. It seems like the majority of you have, and I know as most marketers we have. We've sampled it, we've experimented with it, we've thrown some money at it, and unfortunately, a lot of us haven't had great results. So, for those of you who answered yes, I want you on a scale of 1 to 10, throw into the chat box, how happy were you with the results of those campaigns? 1 being you were totally disappointed, you're terrified of Facebook, you never want to do it again. 10 being this is the holy grail of marketing.
Okay, it seems like a couple people jumped the gun before you even finished the question, but we are
That's okay.
seeing, let's see, we've got some 5s, 3s. We've got 1
right
in here. Seems to be the odd man out. No, you know what? We've got a couple of sevens and eights, but most people, it's looking like they're falling between 2 and 5, I would say.
Okay, and that's perfectly normal. That is where the majority of us fall, and it's honestly because you're not using the right strategy. So again, if you are a brick and mortar business, I'm excited for you to be here because these strategies are just for you, and we're going to try and turn that number into a 7 or an 8 by the time we're done here today, or hopefully higher. So real quickly, just some stats. Just want to lay some foundation work here for all of you who might not know some of these incredible statistics, but worldwide, there are over 1.79 billion monthly active Facebook users. So that's a 16% increase over last year. So there's an incredible amount of people not only coming onto Facebook, but using it daily. And frankly, in 1.8 billion, that's many times the size of the American population. So it's mind-numbing to think of how many people are actually on this platform. So statistically, it's too big to ignore. And did you know some interesting research that I saw on Forbes? I honestly, I wish I would have thrown up the stat here so you guys can research where it came from, and I'll maybe pull that up a little bit later. But it said that 52% of customer purchases online that were influenced by Facebook, they actually purchase offline. So I really wish I would pull that stat or the source of that stat for you guys, but I'll make sure to do that in a follow-up when I send this deck out to everyone, when I share that with them. But a really interesting stat there where people are being influenced by the things they see on Facebook. And that doesn't necessarily have to be an ad. It can be a post or something that a friend shared. I mean, concert tickets, if someone buys concert tickets and shares it on Facebook, some of their friends might buy that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be advertising and showing them ads, but people are being influenced by Facebook and making purchasing decisions because of what they see on there. Now, again, I truly feel that Facebook is a glimpse at the future of modern marketing, and here's why. They have crazy detailed demographic information about their users, which marketers like us can use to our advantage. And social media has kind of become this second TV screen where everyone is using it while they watch TV or pretty much while they do anything else. And now we can shake our heads and be cynical and say, oh, people spend too much time on their phones and we're not social anymore. But frankly, this is just the way the world is going, and we can either shake our heads or we can embrace it and use that to our advantage. So, all right, so let's talk about the single biggest mistake I see businesses making on Facebook. Here it is. It's relying 100% on organic reach or free reach. Now, I have seen some incredibly interesting strategies where people have done contests, and the people, in order to enter the contest, must share the post. They've been able to go viral without having to pay for it, but it's very difficult to replicate that kind of campaign, and the majority of people just rely on posting to their wall. Here's a blog post we did, or here is an event, or here's a picture of our showroom. And for those of you who've been on Facebook for many years now, I'm sure have really noticed the difference in when you post something, how little people actually see it nowadays. Now, Patrick, I'm not sure how much Facebook advertising you do, or if you manage any campaigns. Would you say as a marketer that's something you've seen as well?
Definitely. I mean, I'm not the one directly handling most of our Facebook activity, but our social media manager is in there, I would say at least every other day, if not daily. So, um, you know,
And the organic reach has plummeted because of, of course, Facebook becoming a more popular platform. They have to monetize the platform. It's perfectly understandable. But again, as marketers, we want to take advantage of that and not just rely on posting things to the wall and hoping that people see it, but actually investing a little bit of money into getting in front of the right people. So again, why is this a mistake? If you've done any marketing on Facebook, then over the last few years, organic reach has plummeted, like we just talked about. It's turned into a pay-to-play platform. And sadly, people just aren't seeing your content like they used to. So don't be that person. And here's a great example. There's a business that I'm currently pursuing as a lead, and they've got over 10,000 Facebook fans. And they post to their wall all the time. But it's so disappointing because their posts never get more than a few likes. And it's terrible. They have 10,000 people who genuinely are interested in their brand and this huge audience they could tap into, and they are regularly posting. But if they just back that up with a small budget, they could reach so much more of the right people, and of course, more of their customers, creating word of mouth and more shares, again, which influences other people on Facebook to like the brand and possibly come in and become a customer. So don't be that person. Don't be the person who's posting every day and really wanting to use Facebook, creating valuable content, have fans, but you're not actually doing the things that's going to get that in front of your fans, which is, of course, paid advertising. So here's the old framework, or what I like to call hope marketing. It's when you just put advertising out there and you hope that the right people see it. So things like organic social media, where you're just trying to post at the right time and hope that people see it. You're filling your buffer tool with all these posts, and you're just hoping that maybe that'll drive some traffic to your site. Newspaper, magazines, radio, that is typical hope marketing, when you're just putting something out there into the world and you're hoping the right people see it or hear it at the right time. Now, even though I'm a big fan of blogging and SEO, that's not even perfect. As a small business, you can't rely on your blog to attract every single customer that comes into your shop. You need to be more proactive. You need something that's actually on demand. So here's the new framework where you eliminate that hope marketing and you get in front of the right people with on-demand traffic. Now again, Facebook is an advertising platform. They will send you traffic. You just have to pay them. It's on demand. They'll send you as much as you can handle. So what's great about this too is it not is only on demand, but you show the ads to people who've already shown interest in your brand. You're not just sending a direct mail piece to a cold audience and hoping it connects. You can find the people who are already interested. You can find people who are similar or highly similar to your customers without having to guess where to find them. And of course, you can test multiple ads quickly to measure which gives you a better ROI. Very, very important. Now, if all this sounds too good to be true, don't worry. If you stay with me through this presentation, I'm going to show you how. And at the end, I'm going to make sure all of you get a copy of this deck who are interested. So in case you miss anything or you can't get this into your notes, I want to make sure you get a copy. So don't worry, I got you covered. Now, today, here are the essential ingredients we're going to learn about and how you can find success with Facebook advertising. So the first thing is the pixel. I'll get into all of this later and I'll describe this in a bit, but I'm just going to break these down. Then we're going to talk about your audience or who you should be targeting. Third, we're going to go into an irresistible rotating offer. So creating offers that are continuously rotating and changing, so you're not just showing the same thing over and over again. We're going to talk about brand awareness campaigns. So you're creating goodwill with people in your community so they're actually prepped to see your offers and your sales campaigns. And we're going to talk about how you can inject great design and copy into your Facebook ads. Now, don't worry, we're going to get to all of that in just a moment. But first, I want to talk about 3 myths. I just have to address these. A lot of people believe these, and I just want to clear the air. And it's funny, I pulled this picture off of the internet. I don't know about you, Patrick, but what do you think? Does this look like some guy in a suit? I can't.
The way
I threw that in there.
right there, yeah, a little bit.
So I was like, I don't know if it's the best myth picture to pull, but I thought it might be fun for you guys. I know you appreciate a little bit of fun and humor. I don't want to just bore you to death with marketing. So let's talk about some myths. Bigfoot, definitely a myth. But in terms of Facebook myths, myth number 1 is that you need some big budget to make Facebook work for you. I've got clients who spend only $10 a day on Facebook, so roughly $300 a month, and they are attracting new leads and clients for their business. It doesn't have to be some ridiculous budget. You can make that work for you. Now, of course, I would recommend as you find success, you scale those campaigns and invest more, but it's nice that it's on demand. You can pick what to spend, and then you can turn that off and on as you need it. All right, second myth is that you need to be some great copywriter or designer. I'll be honest with you, it's really more about who you target. It's funny, as marketers, we try to do everything and overcompensate on things and try and make the prettiest ad or the sexiest copy and all of that. Honestly, on Facebook, it really comes down to who you are targeting and less about your skills as a designer or a copywriter. Again, it's great because all the tools are right there. You just need to know how to use them and put them in the right order. All right, so myth number 3, my customers just aren't on Facebook. I get this all the time, and I will go back to the 1.8 billion monthly active users. Your customers are on Facebook, but for some of you in certain niches, say for example, commercial insurance or high ticket B2B services, you might take a lighter touch. people just aren't going to be in that state of mind on Facebook. You know, they're not going to be shopping for commercial insurance or workers' comp, but you can create interesting content around problems they face, which we'll get into here in a little bit, that creates brand awareness for your brand. Your customers are on Facebook. You just need to know how to speak to them and how to leverage the tools available on Facebook. All right, so everyone take a deep breath, reset your brain. I'm going to take a sip of water, and we're going to do this. I like to take just a little moment, you know, to reset your brain. And before we move on to the stuff, I like to talk a lot. And I know it's easy for you guys to get caught up in this. So just take a moment, deep breath, collect yourselves, and we're going to get to it right now. So step number 1, the pixel. So the pixel is essentially a line of code, like Google Analytics gives you a line of code, and you install that pixel onto your website. I realize some of this might be basic for those of you who have done this in the past or know Facebook advertising. Don't worry, we're going to get to the juicy strategy and campaigns soon. I just want to cover the basics for those of you who might be a little bit greener to this. So again, the pixel, put it on your website, line of code. It sends data to Facebook about the people who are visiting your website. And what this does is it enables you as a business to retarget a website visitor. Now, if you've ever been to Amazon and you've looked at some of their products, undoubtedly you went on the internet, even on Facebook, and seen those ads follow you around. That's called retargeting, and it's a really smart way to bring people back to your business who have already shown interest. And of course, the most important piece is the pixel will allow you to track your results so you can tie an ROI back to your advertising investments. So quickly, how the pixel works. Essentially here on the left, you're going to have a number of people who are visiting your website. Now, Facebook matches those people to Facebook accounts and then creates an audience for you to target. So retargeting at its simplest form, finding people who visited your business online, showed interest. Now you have them on a list on Facebook that you can show ads to. Very simple, very powerful. So installing the pixel, what I recommend is if you have WordPress, you can get a plugin. It's usually the easiest option. You add in a very small line of code, it's all done. Certain websites like Squarespace and Shopify actually have a place in their settings that you can add it. But if this is a little bit out of your league, you know, if you just don't manage your website, if you're the small business owner just here learning more, it's perfectly fine. Have your web admin do it for you. They should have no problem installing that onto your site. All right, so what I always like to do is confirm that it is installed. So in the Chrome browser, Google Chrome, there's an app called the Facebook Pixel Helper. Now what you can do with this Pixel Helper is it'll tell you on which websites have the pixel installed and which pixel it is. So if it's for page views, for leads, etc. But basically, just do this to confirm that your pixel is installed correctly. And for those marketers out there, this is a smart way to also see which businesses are or are not utilizing Facebook ads, so you could potentially reach out to them to offer them your services. So a little hack right there for you consultants on the call. So what you also want to do along the same lines of the pixel is you want to set up what's called conversion tracking. Now, this isn't going to require a line of code. Assuming you put the code in the right place on your website, every single page will have that code. So what you want to do here is you're going to set up tell Facebook basically what you want to tell Facebook, or Facebook to tell you which people who clicked on your ads and came to your website actually converted. So again, this is going to track the actions that they take on your website and helps you optimize your ads. So let me explain that a little bit better. Basically, you're going to take the thank you page URL. So someone opts into a landing page, you send them to a thank you page. Thank you for downloading, thank you for opting in, whatever. You take that URL and you put it into Facebook, and you tell Facebook, what that does is that people who landed on that page are leads or customers. So again, you are tracking these conversions on your website. This is very important because this helps you track an ROI and tells you, okay, 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever it is, out of 100 people, 200 people that we sent to your site converted into a lead or a customer. This is very, very important data to have and use is you can tie in your advertising dollars to a real ROI, which is very, very difficult with things like magazine or direct mail. So make sure you're doing this because it'll help measure your ROI. So we're going to break this down a little bit later, but here is basically the normal opt-in process. So you have a Facebook ad that sends people to an offer or some kind of landing page. And after that, they see their thank you page. This is where we're taking that URL into Facebook and saying, hey, this is where people have converted, thus creating a custom conversion. So if you guys have questions about that, feel free to drop it in the box and we can get to them in a minute. But let me answer this question because I know some of you might have this. What if you don't have a website, or what if your client doesn't have a website? Well, first thing I would say is go get a website, but it's not the end of the world. You can use landing pages or just a landing page building tool. You can run successful ads without a website, but it might take a little bit longer because you don't have anyone to retarget just yet. You don't have that warm traffic. Okay, so you are all set up. That is step number one. What we did here, just a quick recap. Again, we installed the pixel onto the site so Facebook can track people on our website. And then we told Facebook which pages are our thank you pages so it can track the conversions on our website. All right, cool, let's do this. So I want you guys, chat box, top in here, have a little bit of conversation again. Tell me yes or no, or you can tell me both. But do you have an email list and or any website traffic? So you can say, you know, an email list or website traffic or both. Just share with me what you have in the chat.
Okay, so initially here, we're seeing a lot of audience members saying both.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Website traffic, a couple of people that don't. Let's see, just an email.
No worries. I've got strategies for you guys too.
Yeah. It looks like if they only have one, it's leaning a lot towards website traffic and not the email.
Okay, and that's perfectly fine. And that's honestly what I love so much about Facebook is I know a lot of people say, you know, the money's in the list, and I would agree to a certain extent that an email list is one of the most powerful assets a business can have. What's so great about Facebook is it creates lists for you that doesn't necessarily require a person to opt in. You can just have that website traffic, and that is already a group of people who have metaphorically shown an interest in your brand, and Facebook knows that and tracks it. So it's a really powerful tool in that way. And don't worry for those of you who don't have an email list or any website traffic just yet, I've got strategies for you here too. But let's dive into this and talk a little bit about how you use these audiences that you've already built. So step number two in this strategy is your targeting, your audiences. Who do you actually target with the ads? Who are the people that see your advertisements? So now most people like to do this the hard way, and they start with cold traffic instead of hot or warm traffic. And again, traffic and audiences, we can use those words interchangeably here, but most people, they start with a cold audience. They try to go to the people who have never heard of them before and try and convince them to buy from them. It's just not a great strategy. People don't like being sold to. We're sold all day, every day. You really want to find the right people who are already interested or have the potential to be interested in what you actually offer. That's super important. So again, who you target matters. So if you're a local business, it doesn't make any sense to run a like campaign where you're going to generate more page likes to people who don't even live in the area that you serve. If you're a real estate agent in Southern California, running like campaigns in New York City is not a smart idea. So I know it's overly simplistic and it's an exaggerated example, but it's crazy to me how many people do that. And they just think, oh, I can do a like campaign around the world and I'm getting likes for a penny, but those are from people on the other side of the earth that'll never do business with you. On the other side of that, don't run sales ads to people who have never heard of you. Again, it's like direct mail. You're just trying to cram products and services down people's face they might not necessarily want or ever need. What I also will say is that cheap clicks aren't always better. As a local business, you might need to pay a little bit more sometimes to get in front of the right people because you're targeting a specific community and not a state or a nation. Maybe your service area is bigger, but again, cheap clicks isn't always better. So don't be afraid to pay a little bit for quality and leads and traffic. All right, let's talk about the 3 types of audiences or traffic that you could get from Facebook. So number 1, this is what most people start with and what you should not start with, but we'll just start here because this is at the top of the funnel. It's cold traffic, and this is the largest audience because these are all the people who haven't heard of you. But it's also the most expensive and the hardest to convert for that same reason. Now, it might have millions of people in this potential target audience, or maybe your local thousands, but it's going to be hard to convert them because they've never heard of you, and they're not going to take action on your ad because they don't really have any interest, unless you really hit the nail on the head with your ad, but that is very difficult to do if you're starting out. So where you'll get this type of traffic is 2 places. One is from the interest and demographic targeting that Facebook offers. So you'll go into Facebook and you'll tell Facebook, I want people with these interests and these demographics. So you can pick from anything you want, literally from if they're getting ready to move, to what type of car they own, to if they like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It's ridiculous how many options there are. Now, the second place you can get cold traffic from are your lookalike audiences. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, but essentially that is just a way where Facebook finds more people who are like your target audience. Very powerful strategy. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's talk now about warm traffic. So this is a smaller audience, but it's low cost to reach them, and it's easier to convert because they've already shown an interest in your brand. Now, again, the reason why I asked the question before we got to this step is you get this warm traffic from your email lists, your website and your blog traffic, people who have viewed videos on your Facebook page, and even just the people who are your fans or have liked or engaged with your posts. These are people who have metaphorically raised their hands and shown interest in your brand, so they're warm traffic. Now, it's a smaller audience, but they're easier to reach because they're already interested in what you do. Now, hot traffic. This is, if you have this is awesome because this is really where you can start to use the other warm and cold traffic sources more reliably when you can build off of your hot traffic to build warm and cold audiences. Now, this is a much smaller audience, and it's the least expensive and the easiest to convert because this is already your customer list or people who have visited a specific page on your website. Now, as an example for that, I work with a patio furniture retailer who one of their top selling brands is the most visited page on their website. So we'll target people specifically who visited just that brand and make them an offer. So it's hot traffic because we know that we have so many people interested in one thing, we can show them that ad that was going to take them to the next step. So specific pages on your website, not just general blog posts or general website traffic, but specific pages. That's where you can get your hot traffic from. Now, again, if we were talking about a funnel, and everyone likes to talk about funnels nowadays, it's the hot, cool new trend. This is what that kind of looks like. If your hot traffic here at the bottom, because they're the easiest to convert and the closest to the sale, or potentially they're already customers and you're just upselling them and bringing them back in. And as that goes up, audiences get bigger, but they get harder to reach and more expensive. So again, where should you start? Start with hot traffic and you move up as needed. And that's because it's far easier to convert. It'll cost you less money and it helps you build your other audiences. But most importantly, and this one's key here, these hot audiences and this traffic, it's hot traffic, they're far more likely to comment on and share your content with other people. Like we talked about in the beginning, how Facebook has been influencing our purchasing decisions. These loyal customers are people who are obsessed with your brands or they're fans of you already. They're going to comment on and share that with their friends and family, which bring more people to your business for free. So that's why you should start with your warm and hot traffic. So let's talk about how you build those. Let's go build your first hot or warm audience. Very simple in Facebook, like I mentioned earlier, if you have an email list and or website traffic, you can go into Facebook and create a custom audience. Now, there's different options here. They have app activity and engagement on Facebook, which is a new feature. I think that one's great too. But to start, you really want to focus on your customer file or your lead files, and of course, your website traffic. So you create these audiences so you can target them in the future with your advertisements. You can show people on your email list your advertisements. And that's one of the things I love too, because they say, email, good open rates are like 20 to 30%, and good click-through rates are like 1 to 3%. But that means a lot of people aren't seeing your ads. If you have them on an email list, maybe your emails are going into their spam, or they're just not getting them for whatever reason, but now you can revitalize that relationship with customers because now they're seeing your ads. You can re-engage them in a different place. So build your custom audiences, and these will help build your first hot and warm traffic sources. All right, so now you've done that, let's talk about your first cold audience. Now, I mentioned this before, lookalike audiences are this very powerful tool where you don't have to guess who you should be targeting. Facebook will take your website traffic, your lead list, whoever, and create an audience that looks highly similar to that one based on their demographics, their interests, whatever. So you can build this huge audience of people who are highly similar to the people already interested in your brand. That way, when you're showing brand awareness campaigns or sales campaigns to a colder or not so warm audience, you already know they at least have similar interests and similar demographics to your target audience. So very powerful tool. I would recommend you do this and show a lot of your brand awareness campaigns to these audiences. Don't worry, we're going to get into that here in a minute. And of course, this is a given, but for local businesses, you need to make sure you're targeting a community. Now, Facebook is crazy with the amount of detailing you can get into. You can go down to, I know it says 10 miles here, but you can do some brand awareness campaigns that actually get down to just a mile. You can target just specific cities, zip codes, just whatever it is, make sure you are targeting the areas that you service. Now, of course, I've got clients who serve a large part of Southern California, so we extend and minimize this radius based on whoever we're trying to reach. Now, for those of you who don't have any audience or lists to create lookalikes from, don't worry. Like I said in the beginning, we were talking about different types of audiences. You can use interest-based targeting and your location, of course, until you've got some engagement. So if you don't have anything, you're starting from zero, it's perfectly fine. Target your community, your location, and then just build some interests and demographics on your target audience. Age, gender, are they interested in retail? Is it shopping, or is it food? Whatever that is, just keep it simple, pick a few interests. That way you build up engagement on your fan page. As soon as you have just a little bit of engagement, a few hundred people that you've engaged with, now you can start to create your lookalike audiences and quickly amplify your reach instead of having to continue to just do interest-based targeting, which I don't recommend doing on a continuous basis. I would do that if you're just starting out, and then again, create a warm audience from that. All right, so this is the fun stuff, guys. On to running your very first campaigns. Now, since we're starting with hot and warm audiences first, we can go right to an offer. I don't typically recommend this, but it is doable. So you can go right to a sales offer without any brand awareness, assuming you have that hot and warm traffic. So step number 3 of the strategy is your irresistible offers. And here's where you're going to give people a reason to come into your store. Of course, here again, we're targeting our hot and warm traffic or our audiences. And we're giving them a very specific reason to come in and visit. Now, urgency and scarcity works really great. So think Black Friday, where there's urgency and scarcity injected everywhere. That's why it's the biggest day of sales in America. So use that when you can in your marketing. Be genuine, though. Don't inject fake scarcity. Everyone doesn't like that. So just be careful of that. But inject it when possible. And if you only have a certain number of things, share that. Be honest with people. And of course, timing is key. If you've got big days for your brand, like if you're a sports bar and you know there's big sporting events coming up, or boxing matches, or if you're selling patio furniture and 4th of July is your big day because you have a very seasonal business, You just want to make sure that these offers rotate around timing that's relative to your business and related to what you sell. All right, cool. So another question for you guys. Tell me in the chat box, if anything, what offers have you tried in the past that did or did not work? Maybe it was a coupon, maybe it was a free consultation. Tell me some of the sales ads you've run in the past. I'd love to hear some of those, and maybe tell me what worked and what didn't work.
All right, so far we're seeing free trial, I think did work. Groupon, coupons did not work for another audience member.
Thing?
A lot of discounts percentage-wise. Free on-site evaluation, more discounts. Free giveaways has not worked for another member. Gaming.
Okay, great. We've got a different number of people testing different things, and so I like it. A lot of you already hit the nail on the head. Is discounts. Now I know a lot of you get worried, that I think that might devalue your brand. I work with some luxury brands that sell high-end furniture, and they're very aware that they don't want to be a coupon peddler because they don't want to attract that kind of audience. So again, you want to make sure the offer is right, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a coupon. It can be an offer or a voucher or something like that. But we're going to get into a couple of examples right now. What I want to make clear is if you are using a discount, which is the majority, can be the majority of case studies that I use and what I use for my clients, what you want to remember is once you get them into your business, there's the potential to upsell them other products and services they need. So if you're a dentist, for example, and you're just going to offer a $10 teeth cleaning on Facebook, sure, you could shrug your shoulders and say, oh, I only made $10 off of my Facebook lead. But if you get 10 people to come in, sure, it's only $100. One of those people might need braces. One of those people might need teeth whitening. One of those people might need a cavity removed. So this upsell ladder quickly starts to grow. Your goal here with these ads, my goal, is to get them in the door so they can see your business, what you have to offer, and then you can decide then and there, of course, if they need something on the spot, or if at a later time you can increase their customer lifetime value through additional services, memberships, and things like that. So don't be scared of the coupon or the discount, everyone. Just know that it is a way to get the people in the door and upsell them into lifelong customers. Now, number one, right off the bat, we talked about it, deep discounts. Gets people in the door, upsell products that they would benefit from. Another one that works really great, I have an insurance client we do some of this with, and an interior design client as well, who do consultations and quotes. So these are perfect for prospects who are already ready for that one-on-one advice, pricing, and possibly some sales information. Now, of course, I like to position my consultation as more of a value phone call where I am genuinely adding value to them, asking questions that get answers, that I can provide real value. Then we see if we're a fit versus just, hey, get on a consultation and maybe I'll sell you some stuff. That's not as sexy or as attractive. So really make sure that you have something of value that you're giving to people on a call. Or of course, it might just be a quote. Maybe they just want access to the pricing and they need to know what it costs, and you offer that as an opt-in. Now, contests do work. I know some of you in the chat said you had problems in the past with contests. Now, it depends on what you're giving away. If the offer isn't relevant to your business, like if you're just giving away an iPad or a free car or something, sure, it's attractive to people, but you're going to just attract a whole bunch of freebie seekers who won't ever be a customer. So give away something highly relevant so you attract the right people. That's very important. Now, of course, again, I mentioned this in the beginning, encouraging people to share contests as a way to enter is an incredible way to fuel a viral post and get people to share it over and over again without having to pay Facebook for every view. So that's a nice little hack there you guys can use. And of course, lead magnets, premium content, resources, PDFs, webinars in exchange for contact information. So if you're selling something that's a little more boring or high ticket, and you're not going to make the sale right there in the ad, get them onto something where you're providing value, and you get them to commit a little bit of time to you so you can then sell them whatever it is you're selling them and educate them on your solutions. Now, here are a couple of other random ideas. I know, obviously at the very bottom there's oil change. I'm not going to tell you if you own a women's clothing store to do oil change. Of course, you own a mechanic shop, you do an oil change. So these aren't for everyone. But look, redeemable coupons, in-person or online events are huge. I got clients who do events almost every other month, brings dozens of new people to their business. Product or photo galleries, maybe your portfolio, if you do something along those lines. Free trials are a great way to get people in the door, of course. If you are a restaurant, free dinner, free drinks possibly, personal training for gyms. There's so many ways. And it doesn't have to be, a lot of people too, it's funny when they go online, they just get into digital marketing, they think they need to change their offer. They need to have some kind of new cool thing that they can offer people, but just stick to what has worked for you in the past in getting people in the door and put that into Facebook. So if you've done free trials or oil changes or whatever it is that have gotten customers in the past, continue with those strategies, just inject them onto Facebook. All right, so let's get into a couple of examples here. Very cool. So this ad right here is for a 4th of July sale that we did for a client selling patio furniture, up to 50% off. I love here at the bottom, the caption says locals only, really give people that feel like it's for them. And what we're doing here is we're showing our warm audiences, people on our email lists, customer lists, our fans, our website traffic, that we're having a big sale, our biggest one of the year. And this worked incredibly well. I'm going to share some of the numbers here in a minute. Let's go through a few more ads here. All right, so another one in the senior living niche, actually. They host regular events and get people to come and learn. This happened to be one for the Secrets to Successful Senior Living. And you can see down there, probably it's hard to see, but over 40 people, about 40 people interested, and 7 people said they were going. Of course, they had many, many more at the event, but this was an incredible source of leads for them when typically they had done direct mail. They didn't even think that their audience would be on Facebook because they're senior citizens. We proved them wrong, got tons of leads to their event. It was a great lead magnet to get people in the door. All right, so a carpet company. So this one, we were doing a coupon, and we're offering people up to 30% off their new carpet. So you go to a landing page, opt in, you get a coupon for up to 30% off your purchase. Now there are some details, along with that offer in the fine print, but it's a great way to get people who are already interested to opt in and get something that's going to get them into our business. Now, an example for a real estate agent. I love what she's doing here with us. We'll do brand awareness campaigns, but to get sales and home buyers in, she'll do videos and live videos for her fans of homes and give tours. Incredible way to then boost those homes that she's got listed and tap into her audience and sell more homes. Another great one for a local gym. So they were giving away down in Point Loma, San Diego, 10 days of unlimited gym access. So you can get all this great stuff. And there's a scarcity in here too. They're only giving away 30 passes. So they inject that scarcity and get people to act now. Again, a very similar ad to the one I had for the patio furniture. This one was doing a floor model clearance sale for a different client. But same thing, we're just calling out to the locals. Hey, are you in Costa Mesa? Come by our store. And we've got up to 80% off. A great way to get people who are already interested in the door. And if you get this right, I love this case study, and I would encourage any of you who are interested in Facebook ads to go to my website. You can check out this post on my blog. It's a case study where I break down pretty much what I'm talking about here, but how we used $194 in Facebook ads to create $100,000 in sales. So this ad up here for patio furniture that I showed you for their 4th of July day sale, of course, we always go back, we track our ROI, we track our customer lists. All these numbers right here, these were sales made on that day, and it totaled up just over $100,000. Blew me away, blew the client away. I love this case study because it illustrates the power of showing the right ads to the right people. Again, your warm and hot audiences, giving them the right offer that gets them off their butts into your store. And again, if you get this right, another really great example that I love, we were running a sales ad. It was this one right here, this patio furniture sales ad. And we have a lady in the comments saying, I need an outdoor fireplace. I'm coming to visit you guys soon. Like off of a sales ad, like that's incredible. So that's the kind of stuff you can do if you're targeting the right people. They're literally going to say in the comments, I'm going to be in there to see you soon. Love that stuff. Now, I mentioned this at the beginning, you want to make sure that these are rotating. You keep them fresh. I like to change them out once a month when I can, but you just don't want to show the same offer to people over and over again. It can work, but it will wear them thin if you're not changing up your audiences and who you're targeting. So where should you send these people? You got an offer, you got your ad, you got your sales ad. Where are you sending these people? So send them to a landing page. Simple, right? You have an offer and a landing page. We talked about this a little bit in the beginning. And they opt in, they're taken to a thank you page. Here I like to introduce them to the next step, usually encourage them to get on the phone, call us, or take action and get some kind of extra bonus for taking whatever action I want them to. Then, of course, the smart marketers will take all those leads and they'll have the sales team follow up with them personally and have some kind of email series or autoresponder, or just get them on your list and send them your newsletter. So you're getting people off of Facebook to your landing pages, to your thank you pages, and then you're following up to get them into the door or close the sale if they don't end up coming in. Now, optionally, you can just run it to a sales page like this. This was the sales event that did over 100 grand. We just ran traffic to this that promoted different specials that they had. At the bottom here, I had to split the page up a little bit. But at the bottom, you can see we have the opt-in. So we did generate leads this way, but this wasn't a lead generation campaign per se. So we tweaked this strategy and we added an additional coupon. So we threw onto this page for another client an additional coupon where you could click here to get an additional 50% off. Now, I don't control their website, and it's not the prettiest thing in the world, so I apologize for that. The point is, we're sending traffic off of Facebook to a sales page that's promoting their clearance, and the people who are seeing this are getting an additional offer to opt in. So we're giving them a coupon here for $50 off by entering their email. They got dozens of leads using this strategy, and we just shut off the campaign on the 1st a couple of days ago. They were a new client, super excited with the results. So I would use a strategy too. If you're not going to send people directly to a landing page, have some kind of offer opt-in on the sales page you're sending people to. Another example for the carpet coupon to get 30% off, highly simple landing page. We're telling them, watch this video, check out what we have to offer, click the button here, get your coupon. So very simple. Now, why does this work? You've already got hot and warm audiences who are expecting to hear from you. I keep harping on this, but it's important. So you have these audiences who are expecting to hear from you. So that's why these types of campaigns work, and you get people commenting, I'm going to be into your store soon. Now, in the next step, we're going to talk about how you build goodwill with the locals in your community so you can bring in new leads and customers that will amplify the effectiveness of these offers. So you're going to be able to show these offers we just talked about how to build to more people by doing these campaigns in the next step. So your brand awareness campaigns. This is separate from your sales campaigns. What you're going to do here is you're going to target your warm and cold audiences, not your hot audiences. They're already aware of your brand. This is for your warm and cold audiences. And you want to do this to attract new people to your brand, build your retargeting list. So this creates warm traffic for you. And also what this does is it helps you stay top of mind. So when people become ready to buy, they think of you. If you are at the right place at the right time and they hear about your brand when they need you, you're going to be the first person they choose. And of course, these brand awareness campaigns, when done correctly, build goodwill with your potential customers. So there's that know, like, and trust established before they even come into your shop. They're already primed to do business with you because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. Now, these types of campaigns can be things like content, so your blog posts, customer stories, infographics, videos, photos, or any other valuable content. Live videos on Facebook are crazy hot right now. Don't be afraid to hop in front of the camera, do a live video. Facebook is favoring those and actually giving a lot of an organic boost to people who do live videos. You put a little bit of a budget behind that, you'll be surprised how many people you can reach. And then, of course, there are carousel posts, which are a really interesting way to display a collection of links. So you could share a bunch of different things, that you, pieces of content that you have that might catch different people's attention in different ways. I love one guy, he has a carousel post with 3 options. You can do beginner, intermediate, or advanced, and then each one goes to a unique article that talks about that type of person and how his business best helps them. So a very smart way to combine all three audiences you might serve into one post. So again, you've got ungated value content, things like blog posts, videos, things like that that are providing value. Ungated though, no opt-in required, because again, we just wanted to build goodwill. Live video, awesome. This was so funny. I had my client hop in front of the camera one afternoon. He got like 700 views in an hour, all these likes, comments, and shares. It was so awesome for them. And of course, now we built that into our strategy consistently, but a really great way to connect personally in a way that feels genuine. And honestly, again, Facebook is giving people a lot of priority and value or boost over traditional posts and videos. So if you do live videos, Facebook will give you priority. For those of you who don't know how to use Facebook Live, this is funny. It took me a little bit to find it. It was a little difficult for me. So from your Facebook app, you want to go over to the settings. On the very far right, you can pick your page. Now, it's very easy to go live from your personal page and not your brand page. So make sure you go to your brand page. On your brand page, you can just click the publish button right under your picture. And then it'll give you the option here to go live. So it is simple, but it's easy to miss. So just real quickly in the app, from your fan page, not your personal page, click publish, click live video. You can go from there. Very easy. Again, carousel post, great way to show off multiple products or articles that you have so people can scroll through them and see what you've got to offer. Now, additionally, you can run like campaigns where you're going to generate more likes to your page. Now, some people might disagree with this. That's fine. Everyone's got their own strategy. This has worked for me. And it's smart for local businesses because it builds really strong social proof and shows them, wow, this is a small community. And if there's 1,000 people following that brand, it must be really popular. So it's not that hard to get 1,000 Facebook fans if you have the right strategies and the right like campaigns. Very powerful social proof. And more importantly, for a local business, is at a later time, you can target those people and their friends in the area you live. So you can go into your targeting options and you can pick, show this to all my fans or show this to my fans and their friends, which is important because if you're a local business and your target audience, you've got a few hundred followers, you can amplify that significantly in your community and find more of the right people just by having them like your page. You can access their friends as well. So very nuanced strategy, but I think it works great for local businesses. Now, as a quick example for a like campaign, highly simple. We're asking people to, hey, just follow San Gabriel Valley's leading real estate agent for remarkable listings and advice. Highly simple. We're just telling them what to do. Follow us, and here's the value that you're going to get out of that. You're going to get great listings and great advice. This has been an excellent campaign for her. And again, we're paying a little bit more per page like on this to generate the brand awareness, but we are targeting a very specific community. So it's worth paying for those quality leads and connections that you can ultimately show your offers to, or in her case, live videos of property listings. All right, so here is a quick hack, and I absolutely love this one because Facebook does not want you to know about it, but it's super easy. So when you have any post, if you're not going to run like campaigns on a regular basis, or honestly, you should be doing this regardless. But anytime someone likes your post or has a reaction to it, you can go click on that part of the post right here. This is an example that shows the reactions, the likes, the loves, all the different emojis Facebook has and these people. So you click on those names, and it'll pull up a list like this with all of these people who liked or engaged with your post. And what you can do is you can go one by one and invite them to like your page. Now, this is an incredible way to already use paying for ads, and you're getting people liking your and commenting on your posts. You can use this as a way to just go invite them to your page personally for free and then get more likes without having to actually run like campaigns. I do this for all of my clients, or I have my subs do it. So I'm not just clicking all day long, but when we run posts and we get hundreds sometimes of comments and likes and reactions, we'll go through and we'll invite each of those people back to the page because we know they've shown interest in our brand and maybe they'll want to get more updates from us in the future. So make sure you guys are using this, a really great free way to get more likes on your page. All right, so why do these campaigns work, these types of brand awareness campaigns? Again, we're building goodwill with local fans. So not only are they expecting to hear from us, but they're showing interest in our brand. So we don't have to just show them an ad they're not going to be interested in and waste our money. Of course, well, I misspelled that one right there, but your irresistible offer is just the thing to get them to take action, the things we talked about in the previous step, creating an offer that gets them in the door. So that's just the thing to get them to act as long as you're building goodwill with your brand awareness campaigns. Now, which campaign should you start with? It really depends on what you've got available. Again, if you've got an email list, you've got website traffic, or maybe you've got no followers at all. So it really depends on what you're starting with. If you've got no followers at all, I'd run some like campaigns, build up that social proof a little bit, do some brand awareness campaigns before you start to target people. But again, if you've got a lot of website traffic, you've got a huge email list, inject that into Facebook, you can start running promotions right away and getting more people in the door. So there's no black and white answer for this. It's really a matter of where you are in your process and in your marketing. All right, so these 4 steps will get you started. But the secret here really to any ad is great design and great copy. Now, we talked about this a little bit in the beginning, but don't worry, because again, you don't have to be a copywriter or a great designer. Even if you have the best targeting, you still want these ads to be sexy and convert well. So here are my tips. In terms of a great design, what you want to do is something that's eye-catching, not too obnoxious. And it should be to the point, and people should know what it's for. So again, if we're going back here to these examples for my sales campaigns, it's very to the point. And we're telling people you're going to get 80% off, floor model clearance, locals only. So it's very clear, and you're telling them exactly what they're getting here. So again, it should be congruent with your landing page. So if you have an ad that's got a lot of blue in it, and you send them to a landing page that looks like it's from some Gothic forum, you're going to lose a lot of people. You want to make sure there's some congruency, and so what that means your landing page should have similar tones and color, text, fonts, in the headlines should be similar to your ads. It's very important. Of course, your face, your store, something people recognize is another powerful thing to put into your ads. If you've got a great looking showroom or a nice little shop that people drive by every single day, just putting that up in their news feed is going to remind them, oh yeah, that's a really nice business. I should probably stop there more often. So use those a lot. And then of course, don't use too much text. For those of you who do Facebook ads, Facebook will knock you down a few bars and charge you more to get in front of the right people if you use too much text. So the best solution, guys, is Canva. Even if you're a designer and you like to do everything by hand, I still think it's such a great platform because it's so easy to use, and it's got everything from the beginner. If you just want an ad done for you, you can just buy one there. Or if you're a pro, you can use their awesome tools to make something that's really unique. I would recommend this because you're going to waste a lot of time trying to do this by hand or hiring it out for someone else to do. That is, if you're doing it by yourself. So now I want to clear the air because videos work really, really well too. But because our goal really isn't to sell something, we don't always need to use a video, and I typically don't. Our goal is really to get the opt-in, get people to give us their email address or raise their hand to say, yes, I'm interested. Or we want them to come in and visit the business. Because again, there's the potential to upsell them and increase the lifetime value once we get them in the door. If you're a dentist, I'll go back to that example, you don't need to be selling teeth whitening and braces on Facebook because people might not be there yet. But you get them in the door with an offer, something simple. So you wouldn't need a video to explain a $10 teeth cleaning, but you might need a video to explain braces. So keep it simple, get them in the door or their opt-in, and use videos if you'd like. Really test it out. Honestly, 90% of my campaigns use images, and they perform great. But really, again, just see what works for you and test that out. Creating great videos isn't always the easiest thing, so Canva is always a great option. Now, great copy. So a powerful call to action. Tell people what to do. It's really easy. People don't know what to do. They need to tell them. So if you want them to download a coupon, that literally say that in your ad, download this coupon. If you want them to come into your store or come to an event, you literally have to tell people to do these things or they're just not going to do it. Of course, you also want to highlight, like in any marketing, the benefits of acting now. People, it's very me. They don't want to know what's in it for them. So highlight the benefits of them acting now. Of course, scarcity and urgency. Make it all about them. And then here's another interesting one. This is a nice little tip that I've learned. You want to learn to inject what's called pattern disrupts into your content or your marketing. So pattern disrupt is anything that's going to get someone to stop what they're doing and take a moment to think about your ad or look at your ad or do something. A great way to do this is to ask questions. Our brain just can't ignore questions. If you're asked something, you're going to at least think about it in your own head and answer it by yourself. So questions are a great way to get people to stop, take notice, and do something, or just injecting fun, silly things. Alex Becker is one of the guys I follow online. He's got some really great content on Facebook, and he does this ridiculous thing where he's got like a lightsaber and a stormtrooper helmet, and to say, oh, but wait, now back on a serious note, but it gets you to stop. It makes you stop for a second, kind of laugh and chuckle, gets your attention. It's a pattern disrupt, and now he has your attention to talk to you about whatever he's trying to sell or convince you of. But get this, I talked about this before, even if you're the best designer or copywriter in the world, advertising is always going to be subjective. Now, this is the really good part. This is the great news here. Like traditional ads where you only really get one shot and you hope it resonates, with Facebook, you can test multiple ads, different designs, different copy, to the same audiences, different audiences, whatever, and see which performs better. So this allows you to test and optimize your campaign. And this will make sure that your ad performance is continuously being monitored and keeping your costs down so you can maximize your ROI. So key here. If you're running an ad and it's getting leads for $50 a lead, unless you're in some high-ticket financial consulting business, that's terrible. You need to reassess your campaigns. Facebook lets you do that. If you're doing direct mail or magazines, something like that, you might not have that justification. You might spend $2,000 and have one person say, oh, I think I saw you in the mail. But Facebook lets you track that. So use these tools. Don't ignore the testing abilities. Now, of course, what you do here is you're running multiple ads, testing to see which get the best results, and then you're adjusting your budget accordingly. It's really simple. So we are about to wrap this up here, guys. I know we're pushing over an hour, so we've only got a couple more slides, but that's it. That was my strategy in a nutshell. So we're actually here. This is it. It's funny, we're getting a little chime here from Patrick saying we're getting close to the end, but just to recap it, only 2 more slides here, but you're gonna set up your pixel and your conversion tracking. You're gonna build the right audiences. You're gonna create the right campaign for those audiences. Again, offers related to sales and brand awareness. And you're gonna test and optimize those campaigns with A/B testing. So, any of you are interested in this deck, I got my email right here, brian@briandownard.com. Feel free to fire that over to me and I'll hook you up. I know Pat is going to get you a replay, but just in case you want the slides, I want that to be a nice little bonus I can give to you. Don't want to hold anything back. But otherwise, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me for over an hour. We are here into the Q&A now. I know some of you might have to go and you might be dropping off, but for those of you who want to stick around, I'm here for you. So let's get into it. Let's answer some questions.
We had lots of questions around the pixel itself, specifically. Starting off here, if you're using, let's see here, can you have both Google Analytics and Pixel installed?
Yeah, absolutely. And a little quick trick here too is you can actually install your pixel onto other people's websites who will let you too. So you can have as many pixels on your site as you want. And my clients use that creatively with their manufacturer. So manufacturer, we can put a client's pixel onto their site so we know people in the area, if they look at their manufacturer's website, we can also target them with our own ads. So yeah, you can install as many pixels as you want and as many sites as you want.
And how essential would you say that it is to have it on there? We had a question, is
Oh,
it
it's
hurtful?
mandatory. It's mandatory. Facebook will let you run ads without it, but you're wasting money if that's the case because you can't track what people are actually doing after they click on the ad, which is where the magic happens.
And do you need separate accounts for each pixel, or can you do multiple under one account?
Yeah, so each